Welcome to the Retail Reality Show.
Okay, welcome to another episode, the first episode of today's live event together with LIGANOVA in the course of EuroShop. A warm welcome to the audience and a round of applause to everyone who is here. My name is Nino Bergfeld. I'm one of the co-hosts of the Retail Reality Show next to the amazing Yael and also my beautiful co-host Nicholas. Nicholas, how are you doing today?
I'm feeling beautiful, more so than before. Thank you. No, I'm okay. It's like it's a home situation. I live in Düsseldorf, so for me it was just like a bike ride away. So it's really something new for me, but it's a lot of fun. I'm in a good mood. How about yourself?
Amazing. I also feel beautiful. I don't know how to feel beautiful, but I am now that you feel beautiful. And we have also an amazing guest today, Vasilis. You flew in from beautiful Florence, right?
This is really beautiful. Okay, Florence.
Do you also feel beautiful?
More than you.
That was the right answer, Vasilis. Nice.
So I quickly want to, because I'm really glad Vasilis followed our invitation. I had the pleasure to work with Vasilis in the past. Let me just give you a very quick introduction before we start right into our first topic, the new luxury playbook. So Vasilis Dimitropoulos, and I hope I pronounced that well, is one of the rare leaders who has lived luxury retail end-to-end, from the store floor to general manager to global vice president for client services and after sales. Over the past decade, he didn't just digitize luxury, he reimagined it. And as a co-founder or as a founder of Gucci 9, he pioneered remote engagement at Gucci, blending human taste, emotional intelligence, and product mastery with digital tools and conversational taste. Today, he's the co-founder of Intelo.ai, shifting the AI conversation from the customer front office to the operational core. I still don't know why you did that change, but you will talk about that hopefully later. And you're building pure agentic merchandising systems for brands like Versace, Balenciaga, Dolce & Gabbana, and Breitling. Welcome, Vasilis.
Very happy. Thank you so much. Delighted to be here with you. Thank you for the invitation.
Great. Vasilis, we know each other for a very long time, and in the preparation we recapped that. So we have been to San Francisco multiple times. We met in Italy, in where did we meet? Paris.
New York.
Yeah, New York. And it was always a pleasure to work with you because you're one of the thought leaders, I would say, of the luxury industry. That's how I got to know you. You spent a lot of time or your whole career in luxury. And I just mentioned it, you founded Gucci 9. Can you give us and our audience here just a very quick rundown? What is Gucci 9?
No, thank you so much. And you will bear with me going through this small journey of Gucci 9. So I'm Greek. I flew from Italy this morning. I have spent the best part of the last 20 years in the two biggest luxury conglomerates. I was in LVMH for 12 years and then I transited to Kering with Gucci. And when I joined Gucci in 2018, the main task that I had was to develop remote engagement. So Gucci was doing fantastic at this period. The products were flying off the shelves, but remote contactability, remote connectivity, remote engagement was not something that was at the highest of the experience. And I was very passionate about the subject, and I wanted to, with little humility that I have, I wanted to change the way that client services were viewed. If all of us close our eyes and we imagine how a contact center, how a client service looks like, what are we going to look? We're going to think about cubicles, maybe sitting in a low-cost region or country. Nothing sexy about it. None of you has come home saying to your partner, your wife, your husband, "Oh, darling, today I had such an amazing call." No, we have to repeat it tomorrow. Nobody ever does it. You do it for the stores, but you don't do it for remote connectivity. So I wanted to redesign. I wanted to take it from the basement, for the underbelly of the company, where this engagement is viewed more than a necessity, more than a cost center with minimum investment, but you need to do it correctly, and bring it to the limelight. So I redesigned it from scratch, and I asked in the Ufficio Stile, so at Alessandro Machele, his office, the creative director, to design it with me. So in 2000, end of 2019, we inaugurated the first Gucci 9. And if you Google it, it is an aesthetic exactly like in the stores. Because I say, sorry, if you want to make a client dream, you need to be surrounded also by beauty. You need to be surrounded by the brand. So it was quite groundbreaking into this. So this is the very nice, flashy part. And then came technology. So it was the blend between the human touch, and our mantra was the human touch powered by technology. And actually, in order to be a real game changer, I didn't want to call it contact center, client service, whatever, customer hub, whatever you may think. The building where we developed it, the first one with 200 people at the beginning, was the building number 9 in the historical hub, the historical headquarters of Gucci. So I turned it like that, and then we had Gucci 9 in Jersey City, we had in Seoul, we had in Singapore, we had in Tokyo, and the last diamond in Shanghai. So this blend was one of its kind. Technology platforms, best of breeds, Salesforce, a great partner that we had, on how not only to engage in terms of a service, not only to have an internal client mindset, so other departments who were treating them as our internal clients, but also to bring a commercial impact, to have a P&L and to prove that we are not only a service function, we are a function that brings money to the company.
So, just recapping what you said. So, Gucci 9 was basically, let's say, the next generation. I don't want to call it contact center. It was a remote service center where you typically, I mean, if you look at a service center today, it's typically a low paid job. You call there because you're angry, your order is missing, you have a problem, you want to have a refund or want to know where the order is. None of that is true. That's what you're saying. So there's human taste, human judgment, amplified by technology rather than replaced by technology, correct?
And one of the best examples, then we discuss about conversational AI, where in the middle of the pandemic, in May, we launched the first video call service from the hub in Florence. So everything was closed in Italy, and clients were connecting with us and were interacting, were purchasing through a video call application that we had.
I don't know what to say. I'm still stunned.
You have visited, you know them very well.
You mentioned commercial viability, and you also mentioned it very quickly. A service center, I would say, in many companies is still a cost center. But you said it has a commercial impact beyond saving costs. How did you?
I still remember when we had an executive level meeting to review performance. And apart from all the other indicators, how quickly you answer the calls, the FTEs, everything that a CFO or a chief digital officer would like to see, I also showed the EBITDA. And I still remember that people were looking at me, so we also have an EBITDA. I said, of course, there is a bottom line, and it is very profitable. And how we did this? The way that we engage in remotely, it's not monodimensional. So there is, of course, all the traditional channels. There is email that you can sell. There are all the solutions now for the remote payment. But using technology, we have been tracking the impact of the interaction, no matter where this happens. Because imagine that you have a team of X hundred people. And if you don't incentivize them, if you don't tell them, I can track the impact of your actions, this, if you don't measure it, you will never see an upside. So we measured was a purchase in e-commerce, was a purchase directly coming to the advisor. And so from the moment that we can measure it, we could also drive it. Then we developed internal solutions. Most of you must have been receiving a product recommendation for a company, like a transactional email or a marketing campaign that have several products. What we developed, and we couldn't find it outside, so we developed it internally, it is a way not only to send to through this to engage the client back to the human. So we did a lot of testing where and how we should position in this first interaction the email or the WhatsApp. Is it more engaged in the WhatsApp or the phone call, or should we put a photo of the advisor, should we put the name? So all this testing brought us to conclusions that directly impacted our top line.
But like what you're saying is not like right now you're talking about like a visionary idea of redesigning a customer contact center into something salesy and something also brand approach. Early adopters of Gen AI. So you used something that you called in like early stage LLM, where nobody knew what an LLM was at that time, and then basically you did something very interesting about tone of voice. Maybe you can explain what you guys did.
I don't know nobody, at least me, I didn't know anything when they first were confronted with LLM. So wanted to, I was always, since year, a fierce advocate of the human at the center of the interaction. I never put a chatbot. If you look when I was in LV, when I was in Gucci, there was never a chatbot there. So we're in the luxury. Human, the emotion, the interaction, it is what should be cherished and should be at the center. But still, I was trying to find ways to augment the capabilities of the advisor. I don't want to know what it is in general availability. I want to know what you are thinking behind. And I went to Palo Alto to find the head of the science department. The head of the science department was an Italian. So I go there and I find Silvio. I say, Silvio, tell me what you are working on. So she was trying to tell me some things. And there was one innovation that we were working on that caught my attention that could be applied in the tone of voice. Started talking to me about LLMs. And me, I looked at him like my cats look at me in the morning. I was like, what is this LLM and how does it work? So after quite an effort for him to explain, so I said, okay, let's do the following test. If I give you all the product descriptions, all the literature that is available on our products, can we find ways to support our advisors? So it was advisor-facing, not client-facing, in how they interact with the client. And let me measure the impact. So indeed, we developed conversational AI. It was prompted, so there's nothing integrated. So there was a lot of copy-paste by the advisors. And so during a chat interaction live on the website, I was prompting part of the team to use the language by AI, by AI generated. And I measured the commercial impact in terms of conversion rate. To give you the numbers, we measured approximately 5,000 conversations with AI and without. And I measured a 2.5% of uptick in the conversion rate. So the numbers were not huge, but it was, and now we're talking 2022, it was the first time that we could come with a concrete example of how AI is augmenting capabilities and has a measurable commercial impact.
I mean, like, how many in this audience have had a commercial measurable impact by AI? So for everyone who's listening to this, that's 0 hands. I raise my hand, I do see it, but you basically, I think you are a pioneer, because what you've tried was something that people wouldn't have dared. And even now, especially in the European market, not everyone is embracing it as fast as we probably could. So it's actually really, really interesting. But like right now, I think what you're doing is you're merging all you've learned into your new venture. Like, maybe you want to talk about this a little.
Yeah, exactly, and that's what I was indicating in the beginning during your introduction. I mean, this was a very fancy world, shiny, and you redeveloped basically a whole concept, which was called call center. Now you're moving to the back office, right? From fancy front office to intelligent merchandising, where you help brands like Versace, Dolce & Gabbana to build the perfect store from an assortment perspective. So why did you do that, and what are you doing at Intelo.ai?
I spent 7 magnificent years with Gucci. I loved every second of it. And 1 year ago, I decided to move to cross the Rubicon and go to the vendor side. And I invested. I went with a partner from that I knew through Salesforce, Jeff Fish, and Rupesh Nair. We have developed the most advanced agentic-only solution for merchandising and planning. The company is named Intelo, because we have to present it also. Okay, now for Gucci, now we
Absolutely.
have also our business. And we are agentic only. We are 100 meters long and 10 kilometers in depth. And what it is very fascinating of what is happening now, and I echo completely, me coming from the sales and the marketing, I have read several reviews. One of it is from last year from MIT that was analyzing why most of the POCs are failing. And a big part of the initial buzz around AI was concentrated in sales and marketing, well positioned to know, with below 5%, the study is saying, of adoption and success. Several reasons for this. And what I saw, a huge potential in the operations. And actually, in the operations side, the business case, the ROI, can be measured and proved not very easy, but easier. And now companies, if you see, after 3 years of a lot of buzz around marketing and sales, start investing in the operation. What we do with the agentic AI, very, very focused. We're not a big legacy platform. We're not end-to-end. We focus on merchandising and planning. And what really differentiates it is, first, we are an open box AI. A lot of adoption fails because when an end user, a planner in our case, receives a recommendation, so I say you should move this from here to there, or this is the correct number, doesn't know where it comes from. Maybe it's correct, maybe it's not correct. But there is no conversation. You cannot challenge it. And this does not help adoption. So we have created an open box where there is full explanation why a proposal is happening there. And on top of this, the interaction with the intelligence, it is pure conversational, coming from the initiative that I have taken in non-technical language. This is not only helping adoption, not helping understand it, but think a little about it. It helps in what is called contextual learning. It means that the intelligent, through the interaction, learns and can adapt. Because we can launch something, we can be very happy, you will buy the license, thank you very much, and then after 9 months, it hasn't advanced because it doesn't have the right interaction. So we are into conversational AI, and also another thing, also from my past experience that I wanted to avoid, it is easy to plug and play. So to start with, no large integrations. I always remember when we wanted to develop something with fantastic platforms, they wanted a lot of investment, a lot of customization, so a lot of months, not only investment in money, but investment in our time. Only after 9, 12 months to come to the end user to scratch his head and understand, but this is not exactly what I wanted. So these elements, I think that help us scale very quickly. I can talk another 10 minutes, but I stop here. Whoever else wants, after, with a nice gin tonic, I can give more explanations.
Thank you. So maybe just to summarize, and if I maybe have a very simple recap in my very simple language, if the front office was about emotion, creating emotion, the back office is about precision. My question would be, is AI better suited for one or the other? Or would you say it's well suited for both?
It's not where it suits, it is how it suits. So it is, and I'm not forcing open doors here, as you have heard many times, it is where we put it. Like in my first early experiences with Gucci, and now we position it always with a human in the loop. It doesn't mean it applies to everybody, but let's take merchandising. Merchandising, there is a part of art and there is a part of science. We want, at this stage, to take care of the science part. The art part, it is always with the human. It is always the merchandiser or the brand that will say, I want it to be that way. Exactly like if we look at a client-facing or in the front office, as we call it, interaction, it was the human that was deciding how to speak, but it was the intelligence that was helping behind.
Nice. So with that, we're coming to the end of our first session for today. And we ask our very famous and our favorite question. You have a luxury CEO in front of you. What's the advice then, like, apart from obviously him having to use Intelo.ai in the future or her, like, what's the advice that you would give a luxury CEO today? What should they take care of? What should they focus on?
It's not up to me to give advice. One thing that I have noticed and I would like to share with you is when companies plug AI to optimize processes. So I have especially agentic AI. So I have a process and I take all of it, I take a part of it, I plug AI correctly and automatize it. And I see efficiencies. And everybody's happy. We can even prove the ROI here.
CFO is very happy.
CFO is very happy. Me very happy because they have bought the license. So everybody's happy. What we are missing here is the reviewing the adaptation of the processes. So if you take the AI just to replace a chunk of the process, you miss doing the processes in new ways of working. And if there is one advice that I can give, it is while you engage in the process of transformation of turning your company into an AI-powered company, not look at the process and how replace it and how at the end of the day I have saved X FTEs, but how I put the foundations in the processes so that in the future we work around the AI and not just optimizing a process.
Vasilis, this was more than a podcast. I think it was a masterclass in emotional AI-driven intelligence. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.